The incredible fall of the pharaohs. Did you know that at the height of their power, the pharaohs of Egypt controlled the equivalent of one-third of the world's known wealth? But how did a civilization that once reigned supreme over the ancient world, building monuments that have stood for thousands of years, fall into ruin and lose their grasp on power? What led to the incredible fall of the pharaohs? To understand the incredible fall, we must first look at the rise of the pharaohs, a civilization that seemed unstoppable. Around 3100 BCE, ancient Egypt unified under a single ruler, beginning an era of prosperity, culture, and technological achievement. The pharaohs, believed to be living gods, commanded absolute authority, not just over Egypt's politics, but over its religion, economy, and the very soul of its people. They built the first known empire and pioneered developments in agriculture, medicine, and engineering. The Nile, their lifeblood, was harnessed for massive agricultural surpluses. At the core of this success were the pharaohs, seen as divine beings who mediated between the gods and their subjects. By the New Kingdom period, around 1550 to 1070 BCE, Egypt had become the most powerful nation in the ancient world. Pharaohs like Ramses II commanded armies of tens of thousands, and Egypt's wealth was unimaginable. Gold flowed from Nubia, trade routes reached the farthest corners of the known world, and temples were built to honor both gods and pharaohs alike. Yet, even at the peak of their power, the seeds of decline were already being sown. So what caused this mighty civilization to unravel? Let's break it down into three critical factors: internal strife, foreign invasions, and economic challenges. First, Egypt's internal politics became more complicated over time. As wealth increased, so did the power struggles. The government grew more bureaucratic, leading to corruption, and infighting among the elite became common. Civil wars between rival dynasties weakened the unity of the kingdom. With rival pharaohs declaring their legitimacy, the stability that once characterized Egypt began to fracture. Then, foreign invasions added pressure. The Hyksos were the first to exploit Egypt's vulnerabilities around 1700 BCE, establishing their own dynasty in the Nile Delta. Later, the Assyrians, Persians, and finally the Greeks, under Alexander the Great, would take control, each successive invasion stripping Egypt of its wealth and identity. The pharaohs became puppet rulers, controlled by foreign powers. On top of this, Egypt's economy faced a slow collapse. Over-reliance on the Nile for agriculture meant that when the river's flood patterns changed, famines became more frequent. Monumental building projects drained the treasury. Meanwhile, the empire's expansive military campaigns were costly, and the tribute from conquered lands began to dwindle. One pivotal event that marked a true turning point was the invasion by the Persian Empire in 525 BCE. The last native pharaoh, Psamtik III, attempted to defend his realm, but the Persian army, led by Cambyses II, crushed the Egyptian forces at the Battle of Pelusium. Egypt would never again rise to its former glory as an independent empire. Instead, it became a province of larger empires, ruled by foreign kings who wore the pharaoh's crown but lacked its divine power. What made Egypt's decline so tragic was that it was, in many ways, inevitable. The very elements that made Egypt strong, its rich traditions, centralized power, and geographical isolation, also made it vulnerable to corruption, stagnation, and invasion. The highly stratified society that built wonders like the Great Pyramid also meant that the power of the state was in the hands of the few, leaving the majority of Egyptians struggling for survival. And when foreign powers began to erode the sacred authority of the pharaohs, faith in the system crumbled, leading to social unrest and disillusionment. The fall of the pharaohs teaches us profound lessons about power, resilience, and the danger of complacency. A once great civilization fell not just because of external pressures, but because of its internal weaknesses, lessons that echo throughout history, from ancient Rome to the present day. The story of ancient Egypt is not just about grandeur and wealth, but also about fragility. The fall of the pharaohs is a reminder that even the mightiest empires can crumble, and that no power, however absolute, is ever truly secure. What do you think was the single most significant factor in the fall of the pharaohs? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration of ancient Egypt, make sure to check out my video on the rise and fall of the Babylonian Empire, another tale of power, glory, and ultimate decline. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more on ancient civilizations.